Hi, welcome back to another Translator Insider. First of all, thank you very much for those who have watched my masterclass last week. And I apologize for the time it took me to upload that. Unfortunately, I had a massive issue with my uploading, with my upload speed. And what I thought it was going to take me a few minutes ended up taking me almost 3 hours to upload. I understand it was rather big, but yeah, I was not expecting that, and I do apologize for that delay. I hope you liked it. I hope you got that understanding about the translation industry and what really is important when you want to start a career in this business. And I hope you can join me in my fantastic courses, or who knows, my mentoring program. You have to access the video to get the code, the bonus code that runs until the 15th of Feb for the promotion on my new course, getting or creating your business tools, and my mentoring program. So don't forget to do that. Now, today, let's talk about translation, and one of the things that keeps on coming back and forth, it's the need for translators, and with AI and social media keeps on rehashing things, and more topics keep on coming about this, saying that there won't be need for translators because AI will do everything. Well, would they? Why do I think that's not the case? And what industries will never rely on something as that AI or machine translation for their translations? So come with me, let's talk about it. So let's talk machine translation, AI. Is it doom and gloom? Well, I think I've already done a video about this topic once, but I decided to go again and talk about it because it keeps on appearing. In fact, lately you keep on being bombarded on social media with posts about the days of translation being outnumbered and things like that. Well, a lot of colleagues react saying, no, that's not the case. But obviously, we all know that this is all part of also marketing, and this is also to generate, a conversation, to generate leads and generate people to comment and have a reaction and to react to these type of topics. So that's why they keep on coming back and forth, and we all know what's going on. We all know what happened with machine translation when it started, and with AI, I don't think it's going to be different. What happened is, some people think that, yeah, well, why should I hire a translator if I can just put the text into a machine and the machine is going to translate that for me? Well, you do, and I have a very good explanation for you. A machine is a machine. It's an algorithm, and it will translate, even though machine translation and now AI have evolved and things are much better than they were, let's say, 10 years ago. And we all remember all the blunders we could get if we try to put a simple sentence on Google Translate. We know what sort of nonsense would come out of it. It's better, it's much better, and if you go there, you will find it better. But that's a lot of things that you need to consider. You need to consider the language. You need to consider the variance, if there is, of that language. You need to consider your audience. Where is that text going to be? Because a machine is not going to do it. And for example, with a machine translation, and giving again the example of Google Translate, you set a sentence, you put a sentence on Google Translate, and it's going to translate. Let's say if you use English and Portuguese, you put a sentence in English and the result is going to it's going to be in the Brazilian variant of Portuguese. So if you're working with Portugal, that it would obviously be wrong. And I will say it will be wrong, because if you see the differences between the Portuguese from Portugal, or the Portuguese language, and its variant from Brazil, they are severely different. Sometimes you almost need a translator to translate between them, because obviously the evolution that the language had in Brazil and in Portugal, it's different, and therefore in Brazil they use words that are not used or known in Portugal, and vice versa. So if you put in a machine, and this is going to be the outcome, let's say, of a document, and you're going to get that document, let's say, to the Portuguese government, it's not going to be good. I can assure you that it's not going to be good. So that's one of the reasons. The other reason is the cultural value of things. A machine, either AI or whatever it might be, does not have that cultural knowledge, even though it might be perfected over years, and we saw that with machine translation, does not have that cultural value to look at a text and see, oh, okay, this is an idiom, this is an idiomatic expression, this is a cultural trace from this country. I need to transfer this cultural trace into the target language, so the target audience is going to have exactly that feeling the source audience had when they read that particular idiom. A machine is not going to know that, is not going to do that, it's just going to translate. So that's one of the reasons that you lose a lot. Having said that, and I have said this before and everybody knows, with machine translation, there is a lot of colleagues that actually use it as a tool and do projects with machine translation. For example, this morning I received an email from pros.com for a project like that. So, and a lot of colleagues do it, which in that particular case, their work won't be translation per se anymore. It would be post-editing. What they do, the machine translation does the job, and then what they do is to look at things, and basically they would be kind of proofreading whatever the machine did. So they would be editing. They wouldn't be proofreading, because the text doesn't go back to the machine for the machine to say, oh, well, I think this and that, like it would happen in a proofreading project, but it's post-editing. The translator will look and will correct whatever errors might be due to being done by machine translation. Usually, these projects are for general translation and for industries or for types of text that do not require a lot of accuracy. So they are quite fluid with that. And then they allow that to happen. And there's a lot of colleagues working in this type of project. The same with AI. There's a lot of colleagues already using it for their work. So it's not a question that we just disappear and all these technologies are going to take our jobs, because that's not going to happen. What it means is we are going to evolve with the technology, and some of us will start using this technology, if not all of us, and we will accommodate our work to these technologies, and we will get projects with these technologies that will actually help us doing our job. But there will always be that niche. There's always going to be that niche, those industries that do not rely on machines. They don't trust machines because they know they need something to be exact. We are talking about the legal industry. We don't see law firms accepting something like that because they know that it might bring them a lot of problems, We don't see the medical industry, for example, using something like that. Again, because they see that a lot of problems may arise from there. And that's what we have. There's always going to be certain industries that won't rely on that sort of industry, and they will still want a specialized translator that does that job for them, because they really want the human eye. They really want to make sure that whatever text, whatever document they have is translated accurately and is translated by a human that is going to do the job perfectly for them. So, in my view, it's not the end. I said it before, I say it again. It's not the end, but it is a massive adaptation of the whole industry. And of course, all these tools will come and will be part of our job, and we will eventually be using these tools. So, I've said it, and I think it's not doom and gloom. It is something that we need to, and it's, if we look at it, these industries, and especially with AI, it's not just translators who will have to adapt. A lot of professions will start using it and will have to accommodate and will have to adapt to this new reality. However, it does not mean that it's going to disappear, the jobs are going to disappear. It just means that we need to adapt, and we need to change the way we do our business in order to accommodate these new factors, these new technologies. Again, it's also important to understand languages are very, very complex. And when you put cultures in the mix, which every language have, you understand that it's not an algorithm thing. It's a personal thing. You need to identify which country, which culture, which variant, if there is variance, and that's all the work of a translator. Yes, AI may be starting to be a little better on that, but still, I do believe that for utmost accuracy, you need a human eye, you need the human knowledge to actually do the job properly. And in some instances, in some industries, I don't think they will accept anything that is not done by a human translator. And that's where your specialization comes to play. That's why I always recommend my mentees and my students to actually choose their niche, choose the specialization, because the more specialized they are, the better it's going to be, because they are seen as an expert, and then they cater for a certain industry. They really specialize in that industry, and then they charge for that expertise, and they also get recognized for that expertise, and it's less likely that they're going to be overtaken by something like this, because they are already on that specialized group that obviously stay a bit out of this problem. But again, I don't see it as a problem. I see it as another tool that eventually might be used by everyone. Although I think with AI, there's always a fine line, because there's also the confidentiality issue, the same with machine translation. When you have a project that it's, have less confidentiality requirements, such as a manual or something that is going to be from the public domain, the client may accept that. But again, you're not going to put the medical records of someone into a program like machine translation or any AI program, because there's that confidentiality issue. So it's also that. Or a legal, the legal records of a particular court case, you're not going to put it through something like that. one may argue that there is confidentiality in these things, but we all know every single time that you use AI, every single time that you use machine translation, every single word that you use, every single translation that is done, it's also the algorithm captures it, and it's a way of getting better. So every single thing, it's captured there. So whatever information you put there, it's going to stay there. So, and it's one of the things that we always tell, and I always tell my students and mentees to be very careful if they use any sort of tool like that. Don't identify, it's the same when you ask questions, for example, on pros.com or any other translator forum. Never identify whatever job you're doing, never identify the client or specific details. If there is details that you put crosses, you don't identify, because then you would be in breach of the confidentiality clause on your code of ethics. So that's also the ethical problem. There's also the confidentiality problem that if a project does not really require that, if it's just going to be, for example, a press release that is going to be on the public domain, it might be fine, and the client might be fine for using that. But if it's something as complex as court documents or legal documents or medical documents or financial documents that are highly private, that may contain private information of a particular person or company, they may not want, or I'm sure they won't want, that to be somehow leaked or somehow stolen, and get that information stolen somehow. And we know that these days everything we put online, even though we might put a lot of privacy settings on it, it's never private, it's always public, and it's always susceptible of being stolen. We saw that with a lot of companies, for example, here in Australia, that recently got hacked, and that happens with everything. So this is what I think are the main reasons why a few subjects or a few fields, a few industries will never totally rely on this type of technology. It's because they are very unlikely, I would say, to solve the cultural issue, the variant issue, but most importantly, because of the confidentiality issue. You don't put information, personal information or company information, in a tool that most of them are online. The information stays online, and the clients obviously don't like that. So if you ask me, is this the end for translators? No, it won't be, because there is a very specialized need for our industry. And quite frankly, I believe that more and more translators are essential. We live in a world of a digital world where companies are no longer confined to a country or to a city. They do business overseas, they do business worldwide, and most of the times they have a web page. That web page needs to be translated in several languages. They deal with several countries, and then because they deal with several countries, they will need a lot of documentation translated, and they need translation. So translation is more and more and more relevant these days because of the nature of markets we have, the nature of world we have. So I believe, if anything, we are more and more relevant than any other times before. So I think it's not the end for translators at all. It's just a question of adapting. Some industries may accept it or may be more open to it. Others, I still think they will be quite close and quite averse to this type of technology because of mainly because of confidentiality issues. And that's all for today. I hope you really enjoyed this insider of today. I hope if you are really thinking about starting your career as a translator, you don't see this as doom and gloom. It's not really. You just need to follow a few steps, have your plan, and know exactly what you want to do and deal with all of this with care. You need to analyze everything, including obviously the existence of AI and machine translation, and decide what do you want to do. As I said, a lot of colleagues have now embraced, for example, machine translation, and some are also using AI. So if that makes you fancy, why not? Just embrace it. I think all you need to do is making your plan and knowing exactly what you want to do with your career, where you want to work, what niche do you have, what qualifications you have, and go from there. That's why I have my courses where you can choose whatever suits you best. If you are really at the start, you may actually go for my mentoring program and you get my 3 courses. One that will help you choose the qualifications and give you a little bit of an insight of the work as a professional translator. The other one is the business course for translators, where you can do your business plan, your marketing plan, your financial plan, and get ready to start your business. And my latest course that talks about creating your own business tools. So, and then you will have 15 hours mentoring sessions. That is 15 mentoring sessions with me. I'm running a special. So if you want, enroll today and you have the special Masterclass 2024. That's the code word, Masterclass 2024. And you get a discount on the mentoring program and also on the course. So enroll today and, don't think that all of this is doom and gloom. Just plan your career properly, have your plan, and you'll be right. Before I go, put a like on the video and subscribe the channel with a click on the bell so you get a notification of a new insider every week. And share with your friends so all of this gets to more and more people. Don't forget to share also my courses, also my offer, so maybe someone you know will be interested. And I'll see you next week. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.